Hi and welcome to John's Maths Book. In this video, we'll be exploring another key concept in mathematics. If you find this tutorial helpful, then please show your support by subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Your positive engagement helps me create more content and allows me to bring you more valuable maths lessons. Without further ado, let's go over to the whiteboard. Suppose we have a 3x3 system of linear equations. Let's look at how we solve for x, y, and z using Gaussian elimination. The system of equations is shown on the board. The first step is to create a coefficient matrix by extracting the coefficients of variables x, y, and z such that they become the entries in the matrix. This results in a 3x3 matrix. Next, we need to augment this matrix by adding the constant terms. We separate these from the coefficients by using a vertical line. Now we need to perform row operations on this matrix in order to reduce it to row echelon form. So what is row echelon form? Well, we need to reduce our matrix such that it is in the following form. The row operations we need to perform produce a series of ones along the diagonal from the top left to the bottom right, and below the diagonal we have zeros in every position. Now let's look at what rules we are constrained by when reducing the matrix to row echelon form. So for rule 1, we're allowed to interchange or swap any two rows. And for rule 2, we can multiply a row by any non-zero constant. And for rule 3, we can add or subtract any two rows. This can be done in conjunction with rule 2, which enables us to multiply a row by a non-zero constant. Let's now apply these rules to our system of equations and demonstrate a step-by-step technique to reduce our matrix to row echelon form. For step 1, the first row needs to have a leading coefficient of 1. In this case, we are fortunate that this is already true without any matrix manipulation. For step 2, we need to use row operations to get zeros down the first column and below the first entry of 1. So now we need to replace this value of 2 with a 0. So to do this, we need to multiply row 1 by 2 and then subtract row 2. And this gives us our 0 where we need it to be. And then we need to replace this value of 3 with another 0. So to do that, we need to multiply row 1 by 3 and then subtract row 3. And this gives us the 0 that we need. So that completes step 2. So step 3, we need to use row operations to get a 1 in row 2, column 2. So that's the middle of the coefficient matrix. So we need to replace this minus 5 with a 1. To do this, we can divide row 2 by minus 5. So dividing each element of row 2 by minus 5, we get 0, 1, minus 3/5 and minus 18 divided by 5. And now for step 4, where we need to use row operations to get zeros down column 2 below the entry of 1. So we need to replace this negative 1 with a 0. To do this, we can add row 2 and row 3. So adding each of the corresponding elements in each of the rows, we get 0, 0, 11 2/5, and 11 2/5. For step number 5, we need to use row operations to get a 1 in the last row and the last column. So we need to replace 11 2/5 shown here with a 1. And to do this, we can divide row 3 by 11 2/5. And this will give 0, 0, 1, and 1. So we've now reduced our matrix to row echelon form. And if we look at row 3, this gives us our value for z. So in our case, z is equal to 1. We can now use back substitution to discover the values of x and y. So looking at row 2, we have 0x, we have 1y, we have minus 3/5 z is equal to minus 18 over 5. So we have y minus 3/5 z is equal to minus 18 over 5. If we substitute for z, where z is equal to 1, this gives y equals minus 18 over 5 plus 3/5, which is equal to minus 3. If we now look at row 1, we have 1x minus 1y plus 1z is equal to 8. So that's x minus y plus z is equal to 8. If we now substitute z equals 1 and y equals minus 3, we get x equals 8 minus 1 minus 3, and that equals 4. So we've now solved our 3x3 system of equations using Gaussian elimination. And our final answer is x equals 4, y is equal to minus 3, and z is equal to 1.